Every time na nagpaplano tayo mag-loan, we usually search the internet for the calculator para malaman natin kung magkano yung magiging monthly payment ng loan natin. On this video, gagawa tayo ng sarili nating loan amortization schedule para pwede mo na agad malaman kung magkano yung magiging balance mo for a certain period. Gagawa din tayo ng amortization calculator so you can easily plan kung magkano yung kaya mo i-loan based sa budget mo. On this tutorial, gagamit tayo ng Excel sa paggawa ng amortization schedule and we will use the PMT function. So before anything else, pag-usapan muna natin paano gamitin ang PMT function. Ang PMT function ay may 5 arguments. That's rate, NPER, PV, FV, and type. And dito gagamit tayo ng example para mas madali natin itong maintindihan. For example, ito yung loan details natin. Naghiram tayo ng 50,000 and may interest itong 10% kada taon for 3 years. You're paying the loan on a monthly period. Now, wala sa 5 arguments natin kanina, uunahin natin yung rate. Yung rate is yung constant interest rate per period. Pwede itong in percentage or decimal form. If monthly tayo magbabayad ng loan, i-divide natin yung 10% na annual interest rate by 12 because sa isang taon, 12 times tayo magbabayad ng loan. So, pwede natin kunin yung annual interest rate divided by 12. And ito yung lalabas na value. So, pwede natin itong gawing percentage. So, yan yung equivalent percentage ng rate natin. Now, yung NPER naman is yung total number of payments na kailangan mo bayaran para matapos yung loan. If 3 years yung loan natin and kada taon nagbabayad tayo 12 times, the NPER is basically 12 times 3, which is 36. So, if kukunin natin yung product ng loan terms and 12, 36 yung lalabas na value. Yung PV naman is the present value or simply the borrowed amount, which is the 50,000. So, that's equivalent to 50,000. Yung natitirang dalawang arguments is optional and these are usually omitted so hindi na natin lalagyan ng value. After natin makompute yung 3 arguments, pwede na natin to gamitan ng PMT formula para malaman natin yung periodic payment. In this case, yung monthly payment natin. So, I'll type in PMT. Then, for the rate, saselect ko itong rate nito. For the NPER, saselect ko itong 36. And then, for the PV naman, saselect ko itong 50. So, lumalabas na kailangan natin magbayad ng 1,600 per month for 3 years para ma-pay off natin yung 50,000. Ngayon, alam na natin kung paano gamitin ang PMT formula. Gagawa na tayo ng amortization schedule. So, let me add one sheet. I'll rename this schedule. Maglalagay ako ng field sa taas para dito natin ilalagay yung loan details. Any changes na gagawin natin dito will automatically update the amortization schedule. Since may 3 required arguments ang PMT formula, maglalagay ako ng 3 fields dito sa taas. First is the borrowed amount. Next is the annual interest rate. Now, for the loan terms naman, lalagay natin dito in years. Magdadagdag pa ako ng 2 additional fields which is yung payment frequency and yung number of payments per year. Now, sa payment frequency, pwede natin to gawa ng drop-down list. So, dito, sa kabila, maglalagay ako ng list. So, this is payment frequency. And dito, ilalagay ko weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual. So, para makapaglagay ng drop-down list, make sure na selected yung cell na lalagyan mo. So, ito, in this case, ito yung payment frequency natin. Then, punta tayo sa data. and then data validation. Sa allow, select natin yung list. Then for the source, click natin tong button na to. Now, isa-select natin yung list ng payment frequency. So, ito yung mga cells na yon. Then, click OK. Now, pwede na tayo pumili kung ano yung payment frequency na preferred natin for the loan. Now, for the number of payments per year naman, depende tayo sa payment frequency. Gusto ko if monthly yung selected, let's say, sinelect ko dito monthly, automatic 12 dapat ang lalabas. If, let's say, sinelect ko quarterly, automatic dapat 4 yung lalabas. And so on. To achieve that, gagamit tayo ng VLOOKUP function. And kailangan may list din tayo kung saan kukunin ng VLOOKUP yung value. Pwede natin gamitin yung table na ginawa natin kanina and dadagdagan ko lang ng column for number of payments per year. Now, sa weekly, we have a total of 52 payments per year. For the monthly naman, we have 12. Sa quarterly, we have 4. Semi-annual, we have 2. And for the annual, 1. So, we can now use the VLOOKUP function. So, isa-select ko itong cell na to. And dito, I'll type in VLOOKUP. Then, sa lookup value, isa-select natin kung ano yung hahanapin natin. And that's the value of payment frequency, which is the quarterly, for example. Now, for the table array naman, isa-select ko itong buong table na to. Then, comma, sa column index, mamimili tayo kung saan nahanapin ng VLOOKUP yung value. We have 2 columns dun sa selected table and nasa column number 2 yung mga number of payments. So, ang ilalagay ko rito is 2. Then, comma, on the last argument naman, we have 2 options. So, ang seselect natin is the exact match. Now, every time napapalitan ko yung payment frequency, automatic na mag-adjust yung value ng number of payments per year. Meron ko separate video where diniscuss ko in details yung drop-down, VLOOKUP, and other common Excel functions, so you can watch the tutorial to learn more about it. For now, let's choose monthly for the frequency. After nyan, lalagyan ko na din ng values yung iba pa nating field. So, we can use the example natin kanina. So, sa borrowed amount, lalagay ko is 50,000. Sa annual interest rate, that's 10%. And then for the loan terms, that's 3 years. For the table naman, itong mga sumusunod yung columns natin. Una is the payment number. Next is the periodic payment. Next is principal, interest, and balance. I-freeze ko muna itong rows na to para we can still see the loan details and the table heading just in case na kailangan natin mag-scroll. Now, sa payment number, i-paste natin to sa total number of payments. Para malaman yung total number of payments, kailangan alam natin yung loan terms and number of payments a year. Pwede natin to gamitan ng formula, so magdadagdag ako ng field sa taas. This is total number of payments. And for the formula naman, so that's loan terms times number of payments per year. Since we have a total of 36 payments, ilalagay ko dito sa payment number is from 1 to 36. Now, for the periodic payment naman, dito natin gagamitin yung PMT formula. Doon muna tayo sa payment number 1. So, I'll type in PMT. Then, for the rate, that's 10% divided by the number of payments per year. Sa NPER naman, that's total number of payments. So, it's good na nagdagdag tayo ng ganong field kanina. Sa PV, that's 50,000. Now, I'll fix the reference para pag nag-copy tayo, hindi magbabago yung formula. We can copy this now hanggang sa ibaba. Now, for the principal, gagamit tayo ng PPMT function. Tulad ng PMT, the PPMT function also has 5 arguments. And may nadagdag lang na isa, which is the per or payment number. Unlike PMT function, yung PPMT only computes the principal part of the payment. So, ito type ko dito, PPMT. Now, for the rate, again, that's 10% divided by total number of payments per year. Now, for the per naman, yun yung payment number. For the NPER, that's 36. And for the PV, that's 50,000. So again, if i-fix ko yung reference ng mga cell na to, except for the payment number. So, pwede na ulit natin itong i-copy hanggang dito sa baba. Now, for the interest, we can use the IPMT formula. Parang PPMT din ito, but instead of principal, yung interest part ng payment ang kinocompute nito. Now, since meron na tayong total and meron na rin tayong principal, we can just take the difference of these values para makuha natin yung interest. So, yun na lang gagawin natin on this example. So, I'll take the difference of periodic and the principal. So, this value represents yung interest part ng ating periodic payment. Pwede ko na rin kopyahin itong formula na to hanggang period 36. Now, for the balance naman, ito yung magiging balance ng loan mo after ng payment in that period. So, the first period is the borrowed amount, which is the 50,000 minus yung first payment mo or minus yung first payment ng principal. So, that's 50,000. Since negative na yung payment natin, addition yung gagawin kong operation. So, plus the principal. So, ito na matitira after ng payment number 1. Sa period number 2 naman is yung natira mo sa period 1 minus yung payment ng principal sa period number 2. So, that's 48,000 plus again, plus yung gagamitin ko since negative na yung ating payments. So, that's 48,000 plus itong principal payment. So, that's 47,000. Ganyan na din ang formula sa 3 hanggang sa 36. So, pwede na natin i-copy yung formula hanggang 36. And that's it. Meron na tayong amortization schedule. Ayusin na lang natin ng konti yung formatting para maganda tignan. So, ito, isa-center ko lang. So, center lang natin to. Then, yung mga may formula at drop down list, gagawin ko na lang silang gray. So, gagawin ko na lang gray yung kulay para hindi natin malagyan ng value. Ito namang ibang items or yung ibang fields, gagawin kong yellow. Ibig sabihin, dito tayo mag-enter ng value. So, gagawin ko rin yan sa may payment frequency. Palitan ko lang ng kulay yung heading. Yan. So, lalagyan ko lang siya ng border. Then, yan din ang gagawin ko dito sa ating payment or sa ating schedule. So, pwede siguro natin itong i-center para mas magandang tignan. Yan. Then, medyo lakihan natin yung header. After natin format, you can stop here if you want. But itetest ko muna yung template if hindi magkakaroon ng problema pag binago natin yung mga loan details. So let's say manghihiram ako ng 30,000 na may interest rate na 24% per year. So lagay ko rito 30,000. So palitan lang natin yung number format to currency. So let's say 30,000 and may interest rate per year na 24%. So, yun yung typical na interest rate natin dito sa Philippines. So, that's 24. Now, babayaran ko ito, let's say, for example, in 2 years. Yan, 2 years. And babayad ako on a monthly basis. So, retain ko na tong monthly. As you can see, nung nag-update tayo ng loan details, nag-update din yung table natin. Now, pansinin natin yung payment number. Although nagbago yung number of payments natin, so kanina ito ay 36, naging 24, hindi naman nagbago yung payment number. 1 to 36 pa din yung nandito. So, gagamitan natin ito ng formula para kung ano mang lumabas na total number of payments, hanggang dun lang yung ating payment number. Since sequential naman yung payment number natin, ang ilalagay ko sa unang period is number 1. So, i-retain ko yung value na 1. Sa period number 2 naman, pwede ko gamitan ng formula. So, that's previous period plus 1. So, sa period 3, we have the same formula. So, that's previous period, which is 2 plus 1. Now, pwede natin kopyahan yung formula niyan hanggang sa 24. Now, here's the tricky part. If kukopyahan ko ulit itong formula na to dito sa susunod na row, magkakaroon tayo ng period 25, which is dapat hindi since 24 lang naman yung total number of payments natin. So, pwede natin ito gamitan ng if function. Sa if function, kailangan natin ng condition, value if condition is true, and value if condition is false. For condition, ito yung ilalagay natin. I-check ko if yung previous period plus 1 is greater than total number of payments. If it's true, gagawin kong dash yung value by enclosing it to double quotation marks para hindi na siya magpakita ng any number. Otherwise, kung hindi naman nag-exceed, let's just use the normal formula na previous period plus 1. Now, i-fix ko lang yung cell reference referring to the total number of payments para pwede natin itong kopyahin sa iba pang cells. So, kopyahin natin to sa iba pang cells sa taas except for period 1. Then, yung cells natin dito sa baba. As you can see, walang problema sa period 25. Dash lang yung lumabas. Gusto ko dapat pati yung period 26 onwards, dash lang din ang lalabas. Since puro error yung lumabas, pwede natin to gamitan ng if error function. Ang if error function ay kailangan ng dalawang arguments. Una is yung value ng cell. Pwedeng formula ang ilagay dito or constant value. Yung second argument naman is yung preferred mong value if the first argument resulted to an error. Again, pwede itong in the form of formula or constant value. So, let's modify the formula. Select natin yung any cell, then itong buong formula na to is the first argument. I'll type in if error, then parentheses. Since this is the first argument, lalagyan natin sa dulo ng comma. Now, for the second argument, ang ilalagay ko is dash enclosed by double quotation marks. Ito kasi yung gusto kong value if the first formula resulted to an error. After that, click enter. Yan, so mukhang okay na yung ating formula. Pwede natin to i-copy sa iba pang cells. Pwede natin to i-copy sa iba pang cells dito sa baba tsaka dun sa taas except for period number 1. Now, dito naman sa iba pang columns like the principal column, kung mapapansin natin, error din yung mga values after period 24. Pwede ulit natin to gamitan ng if error function. Again, itong whole formula is the first argument. I'll type in if error sa unahan. Then, parentheses. Now, sa dulo, lalagyan ko ng comma. If it's an error, gusto ko din gawing dash yung value. So, ilalagay ko dito sa second argument is dash, enclosed in double quotation marks. Pwede na natin yan i-copy sa iba pang cells ng principal. Yan din ang gagawin natin sa interest. So, sa interest, itong buong formula na to is the first argument. So, tatype ko dito, if error, then parentheses, this is the first argument. Now, for the second argument, yung dash, enclosed in double quotation marks. So, pwede ko rin yung kopyahin sa iba pang cells ng interest. For the balance, gagamit ulit tayo ng if error. So, lagay ko dito if error, then comma, dash. Now, copyahin natin yan sa iba pang cell except for period number 1. Kasi iba yung formula ng period number 1. So, hanggang period number 2 lang. Now, yung periodic payment na lang yung natitira. So, gagamit ulit ako ng if function dito. So, select tayo ng kahit anong cell. then edit natin yung formula. Lalagay ko sa unahan, if, ito yung condition ay check natin. Let's say, if payment number is dash, comma, then dash din yung periodic payment. So, ilalagay ko dito is dash. Otherwise, gagamitin natin yung normal formula, which is yung PMT. So, ito yung normal formula niya kanina. So, parenthesis, enter natin. So, pwede na natin yung kopyahin sa iba pang cells. Now, try ulit natin baguhin yung loan terms. If gagawin ko itong 1 year, so let's say gagawin kong 1 year yung loan terms. So, 12 yung lalabas na total number of payments. So, dapat hanggang 12 lang din yung payment number, just like this. Wala na din tayong error sa iba pang columns. If hahabaan natin yung loan terms, let's say 1 year pa din, but instead of monthly, gagawin natin siyang weekly. So, lalagpas na siya sa table natin. Ang gagawin lang natin is select natin yung last row and we can drag this down hanggang maabot natin yung last period. So yan, meron tayong maayos na amortization schedule na pwede natin palitan yung mga loan details and makikita natin yung mga changes dito sa ating schedule. Now, mas madali na natin magagawa yung calculator. I-copy lang natin itong sheet na to. So, i-copy natin to. Then, papangalanan ko to calculator. Now, sa calculator, tanggalin lang natin tong table. Then, i-unfreeze natin yung cell. So, click natin to, then unfreeze. Then, maglalagay ako ng new field na payment. Gusto ko nagbabago yung label when I change the payment frequency. For example, if monthly yung payment natin, dapat lalabas dito is monthly payment. If quarterly, let's say dapat if quarterly yung selected, dapat lalabas dito is quarterly payment and so on. Pwede tayo gumamit ng concatenate function. So, dito sa cell na to, I'll type in concatenate. Then sa first argument, equal to sa payment frequency, which is ito. For the second argument, since we're dealing with text, dapat naka-enclose ito sa double quotation marks. Then I'll type here space, then payment. Naglagay ako ng space para hindi magkadikit yung dalawang word. Now, yan ay lumabas, quarterly payment. If babaguhin ko to, let's say weekly, magiging weekly payment yan. Now, for the amount naman, we will use again the PMT function. So, dito, I'll type in PMT. Then, for the rate, so that's annual interest divided by total number of payments per year. Sa NPER naman, that's 104. For the PV, that's the borrowed amount of 30,000. So, ayusin lang din natin yung formatting. Since may formula to, gagawin ko lang din siyang gray. And that's it. Meron na tayong both schedule and calculator that you can use to check kung magkano yung magiging amortization mo per period. Now, disclaimer lang na any value na lalabas dito sa calculator natin is just an estimate. Maaaring iba yung result ng computation na ibibigay sa'yo ng bank. So, it's better pa din to talk to them. Let me know in the comments if nagustuhan mo itong video na to. If gusto mo yung mga ganitong content, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out also my other videos in project planning, Excel tutorial, and Primavera P6 tutorial. If you're not familiar sa Excel and gusto mo malaman kung paano to gamitin, you can watch this video.